Oh, Beauty and the Beast.
As long as time, true as it can be.
Beauty and the Beast, the original 1991 Disney animated classic, directed by Gary Trousdale and Kirk Wise and written by Linda Wolverton, and of course is based off the French fairy tale where a unkind prince turns down an older woman and refuses to give her shelter from the bitter cold in exchange for a rose, who turns out to be an enchantress in disguise. As punishment for his actions, she transforms him into a beast and places a spell on his castle, and the enchanted rose will bloom until his 21st birthday if he can learn to love another and earn her love in return. Before the last petal falls, then the spell will be lifted, but if not, he'll remain a beast forever. And Belle, the young girl in the village who everybody else think her and her father is crazy, but she doesn't give two shits, and loves her books and consistently rejects the town hero, the pompous Gaston, who is determined to marry her, even, and he will go to extreme measures to do so. And but when Marisa, who's an inventor, is off to present his invention, he gets separated from his horse Philippe and attacked by wolves and stumbles across the Beast's castle accidentally. The Beast is pissed and throws Maurice in the dungeon. Belle goes off to rescue Maurice, agrees to take his place as the Beast's prisoner, and although Belle and the Beast fucking hate each other at first, they eventually, after a dramatic event that changes everything and he saves her life, they finally begin to see the good in each other and develop feelings for each other, and thus begins the greatest love story ever told. And now, the original Beauty and the Beast is undeniably an absolute timeless animated masterpiece. This was the first ever animated movie to make history and be nominated for Best Picture. That is such a groundbreaking achievement, especially at the time when animation was just considered for kids back then. But the fact that the Academy were finally taking animation seriously was so relieving. And although this movie sadly lost to Silence of the Lambs, I think not only should this movie have been nominated for Best Picture, it should have won. So, I'm sorry, but fuck Silence of the Lambs. I like that movie, but I think it's so overrated. Beauty and the Beast is the best movie of 1991 period. It should have taken all the Oscars, but at least it won two. So I'm happy about that for Best Song and Best Score. But this movie, everything about this movie is just an A plus. I mean, the screenplay is written by Linda Wolverton, and this is her best script to date. I mean, the story's absolutely brilliant. It's so beautifully written, full of themes of inner beauty. Don't judge somebody by appearance. This is one of those Disney movies that had a point to it. Yeah, this is not just another generic animated movie for the kids. This movie, it's not a kids film. It's a family film. It's for everyone. It's a movie that's remained timeless, that everyone can watch and love, even as an adult. This is why the 90s Disney movies for me were the best. Why don't they make them like this anymore? And the characters, this has some of the best characterization in a Disney movie, easily up there with The Lion King. Belle is the best Disney princess of them all, and also the hottest. I know some would say Ariel's hotter, but for me, Belle is absolutely smoking hot and beautiful, and she's just so kind, compassionate, and polite. She's living in a world of men, and she takes care of her father. She has to put up with this arrogant Gaston forcing her to marry her, and she's been taken prisoner by a beast, and she doesn't take shit from any of these men. She can hold her own and stand up for herself. Though she is polite, she still has her limits, and can get emotional and strong when she needs to. She is a perfect role model for women. And the Beast, he's one of my favourite Disney animated characters ever. The Beast is such a interesting, compelling, and tragic, and intriguing, relatable character. He's not the typical Disney prince that we usually see. He may look like a monster physically with his totally badass design, his bulk and his fangs, and he can be both absolutely frightening to kind and gentle in the second half, and his journey throughout the movie to become a better person through Belle, because he hasn't interacted with humans for years. At the start, he's walking on all fours. He barely wears any clothes. He has nothing but anger and rage. He's such a lonely life for the past 10 years. But Belle has come along into his life, and she's made him better. She's brought out the good in him that's really inside him, and that feels completely natural. Belle and the Beast's romance is the best romance that I have ever seen in a movie. I put them in my top 10 best movie couples as number one for a reason. If you haven't seen that video, please check it out. Because I haven't seen any movie develop a romance this well ever. There's, like, in the first half of the movie, of course, they hate each other and just don't want anything to do with each other. I mean, especially in the dinner request scene when Belle just rejects him, and he's just like, fine, then go ahead and starve. But then after Belle does disobey the Beast and enters the West Wing, much to his anger, and he scares the shit out of her, saves her life from the wolves, and they finally begin to get closer. Belle doesn't see the good in him or fall in love with him immediately, like most Disney princesses, until he changes and shows some humanity in him. That is character development. And the romance in the second half of this movie, it's so sweet. It's so beautifully written. They share so many wonderful moments together. When the Beast gives her a library, they eat porridge together. They feed birds, have a snowball fight, and especially the ballroom dance, which is the movie's defining moment. You totally ship them together, and the supporting cast in this movie as well are all great. I love Lumiere. He's one of the only French characters in the movie, even though it's set in France. But that doesn't matter. Lumiere's so charming and wooing, and yeah, he's just so much fun. And Cogsworth is definitely the most loyal to the Beast. He's like, we can't do this or the master will be pissed off with us. Yeah, that makes us some genius banter between him and Lumiere. And Angela Lansbury as Mrs. Potts, oh my, with her London accent, that perfectly suits Mrs. Potts. Yeah, Mrs. Potts is definitely the most kind-hearted and loving of the enchanted objects, and she's also the first one to actually speak to Belle. And her son Chip, he's adorable. Yeah, Chip, unlike the other enchanted objects, doesn't necessarily want to force Belle and the Beast to fall in love so the spell will be lifted. He just develops a sweet friendship with Belle, and he's the only one that actually sneaks into her bag when the Beast lets her go. And of course, the movie's antagonist, Gaston, he's not the usual Disney antagonist that you'd see, but of course he's the town hero and looks much more handsome than most, but on the inside he's a fucking dick. Oh my gosh, he after Belle does reject him, he actually threatens to throw her father into a mental asylum unless she marries him. Wow, what a prick. Thank God she has common sense and doesn't marry him. And I love LeFou. LeFou's great. So Gaston and LeFou's like Gaston's punching bag, yet LeFou's absolutely loyal to Gaston. I love Maurice, Belle's father, too. He's a utterly charming, wonderful father figure who always looks out for his daughter, and he's an inventor as well, which is really interesting. And I love their horse Philippe too. He's a great loyal pet. And the other objects in the castle, we have the dog footrest, who's called Sultan, by the way, in case you're wondering, and the wardrobe, and as well as all the other servants. The voice acting is top freaking notch. Paige O'Hara, I don't care how good Emma Watson is, she will never beat Paige O'Hara. Paige O'Hara is the definitive and always will be Belle. And Robbie, her kind, soothing voice suits Belle wonderfully, and Robbie Benson's deep, booming voice as the Beast, yet somehow sweet, is making him the one and only Beast. And Richard White's voice as Gaston perfectly suits his structure. Yeah. The movie's the perfect length. I don't have any pacing issues at all. Despite being an hour and a half, it feels like a 3-hour epic. It manages to get in so much drama, heart, and plenty of dramatic things happening. Yeah, this is a story, I think, that's aimed. This is very shocking to say, but I think it's aimed more at adults than it is for children, despite being marketed as a cartoon. And there are many legitimate, intenser scenes in this film. The moment when the Beast saves Belle from the wolves. A lot of people don't talk about that scene, but I think it's one of Disney's darkest moments. It's really violent and legitimately intense, and the critical turning points in the story, and especially the epic, astonishing climax with the Beast battling Gaston on the rooftops, and when Gaston really stabs the Beast, and we actually see the Beast bleeding from this. That's ballsy that they would show blood in a U-rated movie. Why the fuck was this movie rated U? This was back when Disney didn't sugarcoat dark moments, so we really miss that in their movies nowadays. The animation is absolutely wonderful. This is some of the best animation I have ever seen from Disney and in most movies. Yeah, the artistry and the attention to detail that went into bringing all these wonderful drawings and paintings to life. Especially love the design of the castle. Just look at it. It's absolutely marvelous. I don't care how much effort they put into the live action Beauty and the Beast. It will never top the artistry in this film, and the songs are all absolutely masterful. They are all an A+. I love the opening song, Belle. There goes the baker with his tray, like always, and the Gaston song in the pub, so much fun. As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating. And of course, Be Our Guest. I sing Be Our Guest whenever I have dinner now. Be our guest, put our service to the test. And something there that wasn't there before. New and a bit alarming. And of course, tale as old as time. I mean, that is one of Disney's greatest songs, and I even love the mob song. That is the villain song of the movie. My favourite scene in the movie is the ballroom dance. The scene brilliantly intercuts astonishingly good CGI with hand-drawn, and Angela Lansbury singing, just flawless. And boy is it powerful when the Beast dies and Belle goes from saying she doesn't want to have anything to do with him to I love you. Just before the last petal falls, the Beast transforms back into the handsome prince, and thankfully they get the happy ending they deserve and the spell is lifted. And I don't have any problems with this movie whatsoever. You know what rating I'm going to give it. I give Beauty and the Beast 5 stars out of 5. Yeah, it's my second favourite Disney film, second only to The Lion King. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will be seeing and reviewing the Beauty and the Beast remake, though I don't think it's necessary, and I am very sceptical, and before you tell me it might be just as good, if not better than the original, it won't. You're not going to convince me it's not going to be as good. Well, and what do you think of Beauty and the Beast? Please comment, let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. I love making new subscribers, making new friends, and talking to you guys about movies. Really appreciate that. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google+, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.